Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome back to another YouTube video. We are finally here for Super Bowl 57. We finally have our Super Bowl matchup of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. And for today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my prediction and a little bit of a breakdown on what I think will happen during the game. So really quickly, I did predict the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but the one that I was wrong about was the 49ers. It kind of sucks that Brock Purdy got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, I'm not sure if they would have won considering how the game kind of turned out. I think it would have been a lot closer of a game because the Niners were just giving them possessions. But anyways, nonetheless, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl after an unbelievable regular season, posing a 13-4 record, no, 14-3 record. And yeah, both of the number one seeds are in the Super Bowl. Don't remember the last time that happened, but yeah, let's just jump right into it, all right? So really quickly, I'm just going to discuss some stats first here. Number one, starting off with the defense, the Chiefs have the 16th ranked defense in the NFL. Now going on to the Eagles defense, they have the 8th best defense in the NFL. Now moving on to the offense here, the Chiefs have the number one offense in the NFL, and the Eagles have the number two offense in the NFL. So I think this is going to be a really good game. But now that we have those stats out of the way, I'm going to jump into another stat here for you guys really quickly. The Eagles, as you guys know, were 14-3. But in my opinion, yes, they were 14-3. Yes, you still have to stay healthy, win games, be well coached, but their regular season was not that impressive, and it's just facts. They had the second easiest schedule in the NFL. Now, a lot of you may be like, oh, it doesn't matter, they still won games. But it does matter. They had the second easiest schedule in the NFL. So it makes sense that they won all these games because they were playing a lot of bad teams. Now, is that their fault? No. Is it nice that they won games and impressive that they won games? Yes. But nonetheless, it just was not that impressive because they had such an easy schedule. But to still be in the Super Bowl was absolutely impressive, and to win the way they did, right? So I'm not taking anything away from them, but I'm just stating that fact because I'm going to build up to a couple points here. Now moving on to another stat is offensive line. So the Eagles obviously have the best offensive line in the NFL, and they showed that last week, and they've shown it all season. Shout out to New Heights podcast. I love Jason and Travis Kels. It's actually pronounced Kels, not Kelsey, in case you guys didn't know that. And the Chiefs have the fourth best offensive line in the NFL. In case you guys didn't know that, I didn't really know that, but now we do. So now moving on to a little bit of an injury update. Lane Johnson he's going to be battling through his torn abductor in his groin. He's still doing a phenomenal job on that. He did last week against San Fran. But yeah, I think their offensive line is going to be completely fine. Jalen Hurts under pressure is not the best. When he is under pressure, he has a 25.5 QBR, which ranks 12th in the league. But if you take away scrambles, his QBR drops even more to a 10.7, which ranks 22nd in the league. So I think the Chiefs need to pressure Jalen Hurts a bunch in order to win this game. Yeah, now that we got these stats out of the way very quickly, I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win and why. So I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win. And a couple of reasons why is A, experience, B, Patrick Mahomes, and C, coaching. Honestly, this all really does boil down to one point, which is experience. Patrick Mahomes is now playing in his third Super Bowl, and essentially that's why I think they're going to win. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to show he's the best quarterback in the NFL, and he's going to lead them to a victory. Now, I'm going to talk about some cons about the Eagles and then some cons about the Chiefs. So yes, the Eagles absolutely steamrolled the New York Giants in the divisional round, holding them to only 7 points. And then you could say they steamrolled the 49ers when they didn't even have a quarterback. The game was over within the first drive. Brock Purdy got hurt, and it was over. And then Josh Johnson got hurt, and it was even more over. That one was not that impressive to me with how good the Eagles offense is. Yes, it was against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Was not that impressive. Now, they did score 31 points, but let me break down all of their touchdown drives. So they had 4 touchdown drives. The first touchdown drive was on 4th and 6 when Jalen Hurts scrambles and he throws it to Devontae Smith and he drops the ball, right? So that was on 4th and 6. Should have been a touchdown, whatever. Then on the second drive, it was 3rd and 6. Jalen Hurts throws the ball to A.J. Brown. He drops it, a complete pass, but there's a pass interference, so they get bailed out again. Then on the third drive, Josh Johnson fumbles with about 2 minutes left in the first half, and the Eagles get an easy walk-in-the-park touchdown. Then on the fourth drive, it was actually 4th down, and the Eagles were punting, and they got called for a roughing the punter, the Niners that is, and it set them up with better field position, eventually scoring. So yes, you could say, I could see the argument of, wow, all these things, and they still put up 31 points on the best defense. That's fine. I hear your point. I see it. But the Eagles were not dominant in this game offensively at all. Sure, they put up 31 points, right? But they were not dominant. They posted 269 offensive yards, which is the third lowest they've had all season. Jalen Hurts had a total 121 passing yards, which is the lowest he's had all season. Again, against the best defense, but not that impressive. So yeah, anyways, they won that game onto the Super Bowl. But now let me get on to my last point here with the Eagles before I move on to the Chiefs. The Eagles have not been tested all season, okay? Now, what I mean by that is they have not played a quarterback that knows how to win, right? So they've played Daniel Jones? No. They've played the Saints. I don't even know who they have at quarterback. They played Dak Prescott. That's a joke in himself. They played Justin Fields. Okay. They played Ryan Tannehill or Malik Willis, Aaron Rodgers. So that's the only quarterback you can point to. They played Matt Ryan, Taylor Heineke, Davis Mills, Kenny Pickett, Dak Prescott again, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff. So they have only been tested twice in Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray. So those quarterbacks, you could say, okay, they tested them. So in the Arizona game, the Eagles won by 3. And then in the Green Bay game, they won by 7. Okay, so in terms of being tested to the limits of their defense, I don't think they've been tested personally. But now moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs and their cons. Okay, now one of the things I mentioned about the Eagles, at least I think I did, was their wins were not that impressive. And you could say the same thing about the Chiefs and their wins in Jacksonville and Cincinnati, right? Their Jacksonville game, Patrick Mahomes got hurt, and if you guys remember correctly, actually, Trevor Lawrence and the Jags were driving downfield. They were about to tie the game, and they fumbled the ball in the red zone, pretty much ending the game, right? And then in Cincinnati, I don't think the refs won them this game by any means. Cincinnati had an ample amount of chances to go win this game, but Joe Burrow did not, unfortunately, take advantage of those chances. And you could say it was not that impressive of a win. Now, I do think this is going to be a real test for this Chiefs offense. In terms of playing a really well defense and a really disciplined defense. It's also going to be hard for them because they are thin out on receivers. Juju Smith got hurt. A couple of other receivers were hurt, and the Chiefs were down to, I think, only 2 or 3 starting receivers. They had to cycle in tight ends, running backs at receiver, backups. They had to cycle in a lot of those because they were really depleted during the Cincinnati game. But with that being said, that's the only con that I can really see is them not closing out the games convincingly, right? With Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, you should be able to close out a game convincingly and win, but they haven't really been able to do that. They kind of got bailed out a couple of times. But yeah, it all boils down to experience, in my opinion. You have Andy Reid in his 4th Super Bowl, I believe, because he went with the Eagles. And then you have Jalen Hurts in his 1st Super Bowl. Now, with all of those reasons and all of those statistics that I have mentioned and gone through, and all of my reasoning for why I think the Chiefs will win and all the cons, that is why I think the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. In terms of a score, maybe a 27-24 Chiefs win. Yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes gets his 2nd Super Bowl ring. I think in order for the Chiefs to also win this game, they have to pressure Jalen Hurts and force him to throw the ball. You cannot let him run. You have to keep a spy on him at all times. And same with the Eagles. If the Eagles want to win this game, they have to pressure Patrick Mahomes. Now, it's not the smartest thing to do because he knows where to go with the football. But in terms of being a little tweaked on an ankle, we saw him last week against the Bengals. He was still fine, but you want to pressure him. You want to hit him. You want to get him scared to really step up in the pocket. You want to just get him jittery when he drops back. So I think that's going to be the key for both of these teams, is just pressuring both of the quarterbacks. But I think Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, and I think the Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know who you think is going to win, whether you agreed with my takes or not, what other reasons I might have missed, other statistics maybe you were surprised by. But yeah, thank you all so much for all the love and support, and I will see you guys next video. Peace.